Welcome to Navigating Your 20s. I'm your host, Jess Hugo, and I am so excited to have you here. I'm an online personal trainer and nutritionist, but honestly, underneath it all, I am just a girl who is struggling, thriving, and surviving somehow all at once. So if this is you, you are not alone. If you want all the juicy tea on what it's like to be a girl navigating her 20s, I'm talking relationships, health, fitness, social life, work, and everything in between, then you're in the right place.
I'm jumping straight in. I'm making this so short and sweet that you have no reason not to listen to the whole entire thing and take away what you need. And I think you are needing this. Honestly, if you were listening to this episode, you're needing this. I have lost 1.5 kilos of fat. 1.5 kilos of fat off my body in the past 21 days. As well as 6 centimeters off my entire body. And before you're like, okay, Jess, that's a lie. How do you know XYZ? Insert the thing. My scales take body weight, fat mass, muscle mass, and I've been doing my measurements myself. So this is straight facts. 21 days, 1.5 kilos of fat mass, 6 centimeters off my whole entire body. Now, tell me, what have you achieved? I know you want quick results. Does this sound quick to you? And when I ask what have you achieved, this isn't in a bashing way. I actually want to know, what have you achieved in the last 21 days? And do you think these results are quick? Maybe you answered no. Maybe you're thinking, Jess, that's fuck all in 21 days. It actually is quick. What if I told you it actually is quick? Because I'm already in a smaller body weight. But imagine if I stopped here. Imagine if I was like, okay, cool, I've lost 1.5 kilos now of fat. Cool, I'm good. No. But you know, most people do stop here. 21 days in, 4 weeks, between now and next week, in the next 7 days, that's the sticky point. That's where most people, like you and me, fall off track. Motivation is going out the window. It's getting harder to show up and put in the work. Your discipline is really having to kick in, but you're thinking, fuck this about everything. Why? Maybe work's chaotic. Maybe home is chaotic and things are going on in your friendships and relationships. Insert the fucking thing. And that's the sticky point. Most people want to fall off at 4 weeks because they're hoping to achieve everything by 4 weeks. Which is exactly why I don't offer a 4-week program. Which is exactly why Toned and Trendy is structured around 16 weeks. 16 weeks designed specifically to change your fucking life. To get you that transformation. So you're not walking into the change room fucking hating what you're seeing. So you're not walking into glass-ons, picking up whatever on the rack, realizing they don't even have your fucking size and you can't wear the trendy clothes. Which, by the way, that's a store problem, not a you problem. But I've been there. I felt that emotion before. I felt like I'm not good enough to shop in these particular shops. And I thought that I could get my dream body in a couple weeks, but in reality, I didn't put that weight on overnight. So why do I think I'm going to lose it in 3 to 4 weeks? It's designed to change your life. And now you may already know what it is. You may already know everything about me and what I do. Or you may be completely new to my world and think, what the fuck is Toned and Trendy? But instead of me telling you all the details of what Toned and Trendy is, I'm just going to share some fucking juice with you. So I want you to get your notebook out. I want you to get your notes up on your phone. And I want, even if you're listening to this on your hot girl walk, I want you to take some of this away with you. All of it if you can, but take what you need, leave what you don't. We don't want to enter into overwhelm. But I am sharing juicy fucking tea. I'm talking the juicy fucking tea, aka how my client went from overweight, hating her body, hiding in oversized tees, to getting back in front of the camera. What's back in front of the camera? Well, she used to hide behind it. She wouldn't want to be in the photos. Now she's in front of the camera again. She's confidently posting on her socials and going all in on this new version of herself. This new version of herself that she never thought would be a reality. 20 kilos heavier. She never thought that she would be in front of the camera. She was missing out on opportunities and memories to take photos because she was so embarrassed to be in the photo. And if this is resonating with you, this is so normal. 91% of women struggle with their body image. 91% of women hate the body they're in. This doesn't need to mean that they're overweight. You can be underweight, like that 91%. That is a massive statistic. I have a statistic of 91% of people that I can transform and I can change their lives. I need to do more. I need to do more to change these people. So let's talk about what she did, because as I promised, we're here for the juicy tea. Training. 3 to 4 sessions per week. Was it chaotic? Was it hours in the gym per day? Every single day, like flogging cardio, flogging, what was it? Strength training. 3 to 4 days a week, 45 minutes, max an hour. It honestly never really even got on the hour end. I want to say like 45 to 50 minutes. That's it. 4 days a week max. So that meant she got 3 rest days every single week to do whatever the fuck she wanted, catch up on life admin, fucking deal with the chaos at home, deal with the chaos at work, enter the fucking thing. But she put 3 to 4 sessions, 45 minutes a day into her fucking self instead of giving, and never taking. It's the self-care element as well, which I'll get into, but I know you guys want numbers and juicy tea first. Nutrition. 2,000 calories was her deficit. And before you go, what the fuck, Jess? Because that is such a common thing in my world. Women come in under eating. I give them like 2,000 plus calories and they freak the fuck out. It's funny because imagine how much you're eating right now. I bet you're not tracking your calories right now. How much are you eating right now? Is it 3,000 calories, 4,000 calories? You know you're overeating every day. You know you're gaining the weight. So you have to be eating over that amount. Now, is this a deficit for everyone? No, this is very specific to this individual. But don't freak out when you see that number because I'm sure right now you're eating more. And why do I know this? Because this was the reality check I needed. I freaked out thinking I had to eat 1,200 calories. So did this client. That's what we all thought when we started our journey. And before I was educated, I was like, yeah, I have to eat 1,200 calories to lose weight. No. Apart from the fact that before that I was eating family-sized bags of fucking cheese twisties, which in itself is probably like 800 to 1,000 calories. I don't even know because I don't eat them anymore. But the fact that like I was so freaked out about hearing the numbers 2,000 or 1,700 or insert the fucking thing when I was clearly overeating before. So if that's you, hear me the fuck out before you're like, okay, no, like that's too high. It's not too high. It is not too high. I don't want you eating 1,200 calories anymore. That's the daily intake for a toddler, a growing human. And you're trying to do it as a fully fledged human working full time, going to uni, looking after family, insert your fucking thing. No way. No way. That's why we spend every single night in the cupboard inhaling 3,000 extra calories because we have deprived ourselves all day. And when we're at such a low number, we're not even getting the nutrients we need. Also, I feel like I'm coming on really spicy right now. I just think I really need to get the point across. So if you're like, whoa, Jess, what's going on? This is the conversation we needed to hear. Let's talk steps. Naturally, she did like 20k steps a day. So we didn't even need to stress over this because that's already so high. What's the point of setting a goal higher? That's really high. That's a 1%er she didn't even need to think about. I think this is where the overwhelm sets in. We're thinking, oh my God, training, steps, sessions, freaking insert the freaking thing. If you're already doing a lot of steps and they're so high, like $20,000 steps, we don't even need to fuck with the thing. $20,000. What would you do with that? Would you invest in coaching? Probably not. And that's why you're still in this state of overwhelm, hating what you see in the mirror and feeling like shit. That's why you're here right now. But I didn't mean to say $20,000. 20,000 steps a day. A 1%er she didn't even need to stress about, so we didn't put focus on it. Why would we? It just adds to the overwhelm. Journaling. Emotional eating. She wasn't an emotional eater. It stemmed from her childhood. Something that we actually can't overcome. Honestly, it's like a therapy element, but we definitely can't overcome that in 21 days, in 4 weeks. Hell no. Hence the 16-week plan. Mind you, this client stayed on for a year, because we know that there's deeper layers to it and it's not something that you can overcome in 3 to 4 weeks. So if you're about to get into my DMs asking me, oh, can I do this in 3 to 4 weeks? No, it's a 16-week plan for this reason. You can't overcome and unpick these layers and actually develop habits in 3 to 4 weeks. Especially if you're struggling with emotional eating, binge eating, comfort eating, insert the freaking thing. Eating habits take a long time to overcome. I spent years overeating. I spent years struggling with my eating habits before I even realized that they needed work. And then I actually had to do the work, which you probably don't want to do. This work isn't sexy. It's not sexy to deep dive into your fucking food habits and enter into habit tracking and writing down prompts and answering the prompts and being really real with yourself about eating. It's not sexy. It's not. That's why if you're someone that's filled out an application for working with a coach before, saying that you're struggling with all of these things, and then when they message you, you ghost them, it's because you're not ready and prepared to do the sexy work, the unsexy work. You just want the sexy result. To get the sexy result, you need to do the unsexy work. That looks like journaling. That looks like being so fucking real with yourself and pulling yourself apart, even when you don't want to. Even if you feel embarrassed. Do you know how many girls come to me and they feel embarrassed? I get it. I've been there. There's no point being embarrassed anymore. You should only be embarrassed if you're refusing to take the next step. That's the only time you should be embarrassed. But I want to get back to this client. Self-care. reading, drinks with the girls, even scrolling, which I actually said was okay. I hate this idea that, oh my God, don't watch any TV, don't scroll your phone, blah, 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 blah. Yes, there's a time and place for that. But if you have extreme overwhelm and you need a distractor, scrolling on your phone is a distractor from raiding the cupboard. Maybe this is unconventional. Maybe you won't hear other coaches saying that, but I actually think it is okay for you to scroll on your phone as a distractor piece for eating. Now, do I say make sure that's the only thing you do? No. I want you to get your fucking journal out. And again, inside Tone and Trendy, they have prompts and stuff like that. It's not like you're looking at a blank page like, what the fuck am I supposed to write? But I want you to scroll until you feel a bit better and then write it fucking down. And when I say scroll, entertaining scrolls. Don't be getting in fucking scroll holes about everyone claiming they're so much better than you because they eat 1,200 calories. Because that's a fucking thing in itself. And my clients get caught in those scroll holes and then they feel like shit about themselves and they feel shit about their results. Even though their results are 10 out of 10, they're comparing themselves to, I'm going to say fucking AI, because the people on the internet put out highlight reels. They pretend that they've got results they don't, and it's fucking with your head. It is fucking with your head. So when I say scroll, entertainment, things that make you laugh, good, like feel good content, not toxic diet culture content, not that. Now, this might seem like a lot at once. I just listed 4 things. Trying to implement all of this at once, I can guarantee that's exactly why you fall off track and always find yourself restarting. We know we need to do all of these things, but implementing it all at once is the reason you're always back at square one. I want to talk about square one for a moment. I met someone new the other day. She used to be super fit. She was in soccer. She was running. She was doing strength training with a personal trainer twice a week. She was doing the most. She found out a lot of complications. It's very personal to her, so I'm not going to list them all, but a lot of health complications, and she's ended up now with a bone density of an 80-year-old woman. 80. That is decades on her life. And I know I'm a weight loss coach and I talk about weight loss a lot, but we need to take a moment to recognize that if you're not strength training, you're bed rotting all day, you're over consuming content, you're overeating food, you're inhaling the whole cupboard. We need to talk about that for your freaking bone health. Who do you want to be when you're older? How old do you want to live to? Do you want to live forever? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to have your kids have kids? You want to have grandkids? Insert the fucking thing. I don't know your story, but if that's what you want, how do you want to be? Do you want to be decrepit, struggling to even get off the couch? Probably fucking not, because that sounds pretty miserable. You want to be that person that is active. You want to be that grandma running around after the grandkids. How fucking sexy is that? But you don't want to do that because you want to be stuck in the unsexy. I don't want to do the unsexy work. Strength training, yes, great for fucking weight loss. But what about your heart health? Cardio. Your bone density, strength training. Building up your flexibility, strength training. All of the things. Looking after your food and making your choices nutritious. Cutting out a little bit of the takeaway that you're having almost every single day for your heart health, for your cholesterol. Do you know how many people now are getting diagnosed with diabetes in their early 20s? It is insane. That is just not what I want. That is not what I want. So yes, I'm a weight loss coach. Yes, a lot of my stuff is centered around weight loss. But think about these things. This lady, she's now back at square one. We are fully restarting over with her strength training. I am taking her through the bare basics all over again. And it's not sexy. She probably feels like shit about herself and embarrassed. She did say she felt embarrassed that she couldn't do anything and she was gassed doing body weight lunges. I said, this is what we have to do. We have to restart or start somewhere. And this is what we have to do. And it is unsexy work. And it is going to be a grind. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a coach that's going to lie to you. It is going to take time. But if you're not going to put in the time, what's the point of the goal? You need more than 3 weeks. I'm probably going to be training her for a very fucking long time. But it's because she's committed to unsexy work. She wants to go back to soccer. She wants to get back to running. We need to build. It takes time. This is exactly why I've designed my one-on-one offer around 16 weeks. And don't get me wrong, I get the hesitation. I know it can be scary committing and going all in. I get that. It's really scary, especially when you don't know someone, you're not very familiar with someone. But I also know it's the reason you're still holding back. This is the reason that you're still not going all in on yourself and you're not seeing results because you're scared of commitment. Commitment gets results. Hiding behind 3 week, 4 week, even like small little challenges here and there, that doesn't get you results. That's why you're always restarting. But let's go back to my deficit because I lead from the front. How am I navigating this? The 1.5 kilos of fat lost, 6 centimeters off so far. I'm still going. How am I navigating this while doing 101 other things? And trust me, my life is also chaos. This doesn't mean that I throw in the towel when shit gets hard. I actually work fucking harder. I work harder because that's how much my goals mean to me. I don't want to throw in the towel. I don't want to let work take over my life. I don't want to let friendships, dictate how I show up. I'm showing up for me simply because I have the goal to be that 1% better. I have the goal to lose the weight, lower my body fat. Insert the fucking thing. I have the goal to get my bone density back, build up my bone strength so that I can be fit and healthy for my kids. That's the point. Right? Is that not what we're aiming for? Or maybe if you don't want kids, maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe you want to go up the stairs at the highest point in wherever the fuck, Japan, anywhere, and not be puffed when you're walking up the stairs. Maybe you want to backpack around Europe and be able to hold your backpack, walk up the stairs, have your backpack on your back and not be absolutely fucking gassed, heart rate at 190 plus. Maybe that's the fucking goal. Insert the fucking thing for a moment. How important is that to you? How important is that to you? Because slogging it at work, which don't get me wrong, sometimes we have to slog it, we have to grind and it's a whole thing, but making that your whole personality and not showing up in any other department of your life is the reason that you're not seeing the results. Is the reason that you're not where you want to be. So back to me and my deficit, because I lead from the front. Training, 4 sessions a week, 45 minutes, maybe 50 max. Are you surprised by that? Are you thinking, fuck, she surely did 7 sessions a week, fuck tons of cardio and everything under the sun to lose 1.5 kilos of fat in 21 days? I didn't. 4 sessions per week, 45 minutes, maybe 50 max. Maybe 50 max. Let's go into nutrition. I'm not going to share numbers because I am at a smaller body weight and it is a little bit of a smaller number, but nowhere near as low as what I mentioned earlier. But I have completely overcome my cravings. I find that unless I am tired as fuck, I'm not even thinking about chocolate. I'm loving my meals. I've honestly been eating like the same meals every single day, which is unheard of for me. I'm not following a meal plan. I'm following a flexible dieting approach. I'm following all the protocols that I put in Toned and Trendy. I'm doing all of the things in Toned and Trendy, but I'm not craving anything. And this might sound wild to you, and it is wild for me. I've never been able to not have 101 different cravings. I have never been able to be in a deficit and not want chocolate so fucking bad and gone over my calories and given in and wasted so many calories on it. I've never been able to eat similar meals every single day. Ever. Now, I'm doing it without even realizing. Is that unsexy? Probably. Is it getting me the fucking sexy results though? Yes. Let's talk steps. 14K a day. Some days this has been challenging, I'm not going to lie. Some days I've got back-to-back clients. Some days I am on calls back-to-back, doing all of the things with Toned and Trendy, who knows what, insert the fucking thing. And I have a life outside of that too. So some days I don't get there. And the other night I was so tired. I had a 5 a.m. wake up. It was 9 p.m. and I was walking around getting my last 2,000 steps. Is that sexy? No. That's the unsexy fucking work. But imagine if I didn't. That's a stone left unturned. Then I would get up in the next morning, step on the scales and be disappointed in myself. Why? Because they would have been up because I wasn't doing the work and I wasn't ticking the boxes. And then you get in your head. Then the overwhelm sets in because you're in your fucking head about it. And that is why I do the unsexy work. It wasn't sexy, but I did it. Journaling. Do I specifically follow the prompt sheet I give the Toned and Trendy girls and write down all my feelings? No, but I've actually found I've been speaking out loud to myself in private, but out loud to myself and almost making it an unofficial check-in with myself. But this can be hard. It's almost like the angel and the devil. And when we're in a hunger state and we're really, really like hungry, we cannot rationalize. We like literally can't, we're fighting ourselves trying to come up with a rational decision. So I've been talking out loud. How am I actually feeling? Am I actually feeling tired or am I in my head? Do I have the energy right now to get up and do some steps? What would make me feel good right now? Do I need that chocolate or should I just have some fruit, see how I go, then go back for the chocolate? Checking in with myself out loud. So if you're not checking in with yourself, you are missing out on a lot of weight loss results. Lastly, self-care. I've been reading so much, getting off my phone and reading. And I know this contradicts what I said earlier about scrolling if you need, but for me, I work on my phone. So I need to get off my phone. I need to stop responding to messages and I need to take a step back. So that's what I do. And I pull out my book and I read. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I put it on charge, move it away from me and just don't even fuck with it. Why? 1, I have reading goals, which you all know about. 2, I don't need to be on my phone. It's not making me feel any better. It's putting me in work mode 24/7. So this is my self-care element. And on top of that, making nutritious food that fits in my deficit, that makes me feel good, that fuels my brain, and getting into bed early. I've been trying to be so intentional with my sleep. I know this contradicts again what I just said a minute ago, but that was a one-off. I said some days it's been hard because it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and you're going to have days like that. But making nutritious food and getting into bed early, making sure that I am in bed, maybe not asleep as early as I would like, but I'm in bed, I'm winding down, I'm being intentional, I'm off my phone, I'm reading or even watching TV. Oh, a crime, watching TV. Anything where you can switch off from being on with work and on your phone. And I'm not talking scroll holes on TikTok, because then you're still on your phone, you're still seeing notifications, and you check all the things. I've been guilty of checking my notifications right before bed, going and looking at my Instagram, this, that. No. Why? What is the purpose of me knowing? Because it just stresses me out and I subconsciously think about it in my sleep. But that's on me. So checking in with yourself, but being able to rationalize even when you're hungry. So I want you to go back to the data I gave you at the start. What would 1.5 kilos of fat off your body look like for you? Is this your goal? Have you been able to achieve this on your own in the past 21 days? Literally, honestly, I just want to know. I want to hear your reflections. Shoot me a DM with your key takeaways of it, because I actually want to know what this lit up for you. I'm sure there was light bulb moments in this. I've been literally yapping for 20 minutes straight, but I feel like it was so potent and intentional, and I think I've really got across the point. What have you done in the last 21 days? And if you haven't gotten anywhere, or you feel like you're restarting again and again, I want you to think more on this 16-week element. Why do you think we do it for 16 weeks? Because 4 weeks is the sticky point. And this might have been an eye-opener for you. You might have been like, oh, fuck, like 4 weeks is when I normally give up. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm going to keep you guys updated on my deficit, because I lead from the front, and I want to show you the highs and the lows of navigating your 20s. But send me your reflections with a DM, and I will talk to you all so soon.
That's a wrap on another episode of Navigating Your 20s. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time to listen. If you enjoyed the conversation, vibes, and got something out of today, please feel free to send me a DM with any key takeaways and feedback, or share on your socials and tag me so we can connect. If you liked today's episode and you're wanting more from me, you can find me on all socials at success.withjess.